So what are these in front of you? To your left, you have
Well,
some hand
today
guns.
we are going to field strip and clean and reassemble what's called a 1911.
What does
The
that mean?
U.S. Army official sidearm from the year 1911 until they replaced it during the Vietnam War, I think, somewhere in the 70s, with a Beretta. This is 45 caliber ACP. This is a 9mm, and it, as far in my opinion, is a piece of crap. In fact, there's some special forces, Navy SEALs, special ops people ignore the 9mm Beretta, which has now then been replaced with something else, and carry instead. They buy their own 1911 and they carry it as their official sidearm. It's a much better. It had the better stopping power. The 1911 was adopted by the U.S. Army in 1911 because of the Philippine insurrection in Mindanao, and the Army sidearm at that time was .38 revolver, and they would shoot these insurgents a couple of times in the chest, called a double tap, and they'd keep running at them, and they needed something that would knock them down. And the 1911 in 45 caliber will do just that. And so basically this gun was adopted by the U.S. Army to kill Filipinos, and to this day it's the most popular gun in the Philippines by Filipinos, and they love it. They make more than anyone else in the world. So we're going to do a field strip. We're going to start by racking and making sure it's clear. And then we're going to take the slide most of the way back, and we're going to remove a pin that goes through that holds the slide and the frame. Of the same era as the 1911, in 1930, the U.S. Army got rid of its bolt-action rifle and replaced it with what is called an M1 Garand, the designer being Mr. Garand. And this is an M1 Garand. It shoots a 30-06 cartridge, and it's semi-automatic, and it shoots 8 rounds in a clip, and it is considered one of the best rifles ever made. We're going to take this apart. We've taken out part of the spring. We're now going to pull out this, take out this, turn this way, pull off the barrel bushing, make sure this link is forward, and take the barrel out. Field strip, a la. So now the thing to do is to take a solvent, dip a brush in the solvent. This gun is clean. I never leave my guns dirty, so I don't really need to clean it. You put a cloth through the barrel to get rid of the solvent. And we get one more, and we put a dollop of gun oil on a and run it through the barrel to give the barrel a coating of oil. Bingo. We are now ready, and you would have cleaned the rails, cleaned here, cleaned this part of the barrel, which has already been cleaned. So now we are ready to reassemble. First, we lubricate the part of the barrel where the barrel bushing goes, and this part that fits into place when the barrel is locked into what's called locked into battery. Then we're going to put the barrel bushing in, I think. Duh. Yeah, here we go. Now, the spring has a bushing, a little thing at the top that fits into the barrel bushing. So we're going to put this in until it locks in place. Now, this is kind of the tricky part, because you've got to get this in while the spring doesn't buckle up. So you have to put a finger here, down in here, and without this thing falling apart, you got to line it up and screw this rod together. Not always the easiest thing to get accomplished. Oh. Whoops. Try again. Take out the other half of the bushing, the rod bearing, the rod. Put this back on here. Where's the bushing? Is it in there? It should be. Try again. Told you it wasn't easy. Remember, this is a 110-year-old design, so some parts are not exactly user-friendly. Okay, do I have that lined up? Yes, it's screwing back together. That's called the guide rod, and the spring around it is the guide spring. Tighten that up. Put a little bit of oil on this rail on both sides. Make sure that is down, because you're going to have to go the pin through that hole. Lined up the hole. Put the bushing pin back. Pull this back. There's only one spot on the slide where it'll go. And voila! Ready to go.
So Stan, how often should one clean a gun like this?
Well, some people clean it once every 10 years, whether it needs it or not. I clean every one of my weapons every time they fired even one round. I don't leave my guns dirty, period. So my answer is every time you use it.
Okay.